Hi there, folks, again. We're Spotty Cat, and we're back on tour in Pembrokeshire again. And it's hello from me, and it's hello from
me.
And it's always hello from Spotty Cat, who's been in the lap of luxury back at home. And this is a whole box of stuff we got from Ryder in Pembroke Dock. And so I thought we'd go through this. And first off, just to keep you absolutely scintillating, we've got some Pyrex. And it's it's just really delightful. I think I paid £3 for this, maybe £2, but no, £3 it was, and it's made by, I can't see, but sorry,
it's upside down.
All right, it's got a thing on there that says, it just says something BF cuisine or something.
No, it's our cuisine.
Oh, our cuisine, I bet it's Archipel, France, yeah. It's French Pyrex. But anyway, £3. I use a lot of Pyrex for cooking. And just to keep on the same thing, if you look over here, Sue, I'll just grab this. And, and by the way, Ivy, this is the hat you made me. Now your hat is famous. And, is that a bit too loud? Am I shouting? I'm told not to shout.
Put the hat down, not your voice down.
Right. And here's another bit of that's my daughter-in-law knitted that for me, and this is another bit of, this is nicer in a way. It's got really nice retro design on the side. Do you know the price of some Pyrex in America is just out of this? Sometimes a Pyrex bowl in America with an odd pattern on can make 150, 200 quid, even a little thing like this. And this was £3. And if it's a big moment going off. And that is OJAJ, which is, I think is just a branch of Pyrex proper. But isn't that nice on there? But beyond anything else, I mean, these, we shouldn't really have bought these because these are practical and useful. And I don't know how many of you are left now. We've started with Pyrex, but let's go on to this, which is probably not what I thought it was, but it's still very nice. I thought it was probably a retro shade. I'm not too sure, but it is ground off. And it is, whatchamacallit, frosted on the side. And the rest and it's got a really nice looking deco look to it. Well, look at it again. I think it could be vintage, 30s, whatever, it's moulded, as opposed to, stretch. And that was £4. But I do like that. And then we've got, something plain and simple again. Not going to set the world alight, but here is, shall I line a few things up? That's what I'll do. And, yeah. Okay, you're another one of those. Oh yeah, and a bit of this. Let's get through these ones. This is, look, it's an enamel mug. I think this is old unused stock. A lot of them these days you get made in China, made in Poland as well, and also Scandinavia. But the fact that this isn't marked at all, and it's just a bit heavier than some, I think that's probably, British and with age, but they've never been used, but it could have been made yesterday. But we love the white enamel with the blue ring. And we can go over to there. And then we come on to this, which I bought because in some ways I quite like it. It's a little bit modernist in some ways. It was £2. But it's made by Brian Wood. And I didn't know anything about this, so it's always nice. And also Lawley's is shops around us in Wales, and they're quite posh. And so I thought, this might be a thing. Anyway, I looked him up, Brian Wood. I think these are 1990s. I'm going to say something about a few things that I bought in terms of value. But in theory, this is worth 28 quid. What I find so funny about it is it's so precise, and then he adds a daub of spongeware and a daub of spongeware and a daub of spongeware. Anyway, that's Brian Wood, and it's always interesting to come across things you've never had before. And you must have, I've just flicked off a dot of paint, and I always think, you often get things like that. This is just delightful. It's just a little tiny hand-painted cream jug. He was a £1.50. I don't know, how old do you think that is, Sue? You think he's Vicky? Knocking 1900?
Hand-painted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the style of the flowers are very much of
with the
that?
gold on it.
But he could be 1920s. I think 1900 to 1920s. And just delightful. Over all the places we went to on this trip, I picked up about 3 or 4 little hand-painted jugs, and they make a really nice little collection. This, Sue, I miss this, Sue picked this up and said, oh, did you see that? And this was £2. This is part of a cruet set. It's the pepper pot. We like him because he's an owl. We like him even more because this is what they call commemorative ware, crested ware, should I say. But this is Carmarthen, which of course is local to us. And of course, you know, everyone in Wales is a bit biased towards anything Welsh. And he's still got his original cork, and he's Carlton china. He's got a little rim chip, but we don't care. And we really love that. I'll pile out a few more things. And
haven't done the tender plate yet.
oh no, we've missed him. And this is another silly thing. This actually is Crown Devon, although it isn't. It just says made in England. It just is. And again, we had to buy this. North Sands, Tenby, and we've spent a fair few time. There's a lovely little cafe just above here that we like our apple pie and coffee in. And again, you know, oh, it's Wales, and oh, Tenby's got a really, really soft spot in our hearts. So let's get into this next. They are maybe a bit mod, very pretty, you know, pretty china, very girly in a way, and practical. There's, I think there's 6 of them. They were £4. Now, £4 for a set of bone china cereal bowls, let alone pretty, is just nothing. But turn over, and in the world of, you know, values, this is Royal Albert. I didn't know the pattern.
Beatrice.
Yeah, Beatrice. And again, I'm going to mention
1994 or 84. I can't quite see that.
Right. Okay, suspense. It's one of the two then. Hey, on your anyway, on your device, you can probably pick that up and make sense of it. Anyway, Royal Albert always has a fairly strong resale. I couldn't believe these. 6 of these, sold comps on eBay, £40. And apparently it's a really, really desirable pattern. But, you know, dear me, if I sold those again, I'd be happy with £8, £10. And then they're still cheap. You know, if you can buy stuff cheap and sell it cheap, it's a great, great thing. And then we're going to get into more glass. This is, again, what we typically call Bagley glass. And it's such a delightful blue, don't you think so? Yeah, so delightful. I'm going to take the label off again, £4. This might be early 1950s, but almost definitely deco, beautifully frosted on the side. It's got, again, the little raspberry knolls on. You could class this as depression glass. You see the way it's ground off. You can tell, you know, with the pressed glass that you pick up, if it has age, if it's been properly ground off on the bottom. It's only a 2-part mould, but I love the colour of that. And isn't that just fab? Do you know, absolutely fab. And then we got this, which is a little vinegar bottle or oil bottle. and he was £3.80 for whatever reasons. And again, quality. If you look at the stopper, he's a ground off bottom and top to fit. The inside of this is also ground. You can see that from the side. This is how stoppers and and decanters and various things should be. And it's got hand blown applied handle. Otherwise he's sort of stretch glass, blown into a mould. But he's lovely, practical again. And I know the top's only moulded. It's not cut, but sweet, isn't he, him? And shall I lean him up like that for a moment? Oh, what else have we got? I'm going to leave that to the end. What else? I loved these. They're coming next week. And these are real shabby, but I don't know. They've got to try. I might touch these up. They're, chalkware. They're 1950s, 1930s. I don't think they're 20s. And obviously they've got a few bashes on, but they just got a nice look. And they're my favourite dogs that you don't have to take for a walk and you don't have to feed or pick up after them either. And woof, woof, woof go the doggies. Is there anything else in here? No. We've come to the bottom of that. Now, we also bought a couple of, these huge snifters. And that was £3. Again, colour-wise, I'll bring him over here so you can see a bit. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's a beautiful purple. And although he's not actually related, he was next to this one, which is a bit different in terms of quality. He's ground on the top here. Sorry, I should bring him over there so you can see what I'm talking about, perhaps, So we don't want to spoil the viewers, do we, Sue? And, but he's ever so nice, lovely twisted base on him as well. And the base is applied on him, so the base being made separately. He's £4. He's probably Italian, but you just don't know. And he's got age to him. You can see, probably not on the camera, but you can see slight wear on the bottom. And as I say, he's in a slightly different class to the other one. He's even got the odd bubble in the twist there. And he was £4. And as I say, often anything that's been ground, and he's had the rim ground flat on there, and very nicely ground and smoothed. That's really nice. What we need is a little cat and mouse to hang on the side of him, but I haven't got another one of those. And then the two other things that I can't find that, I think we'd better just move these out of the way momentarily. Do you know we haven't broken anything on camera?
Haven't we?
I don't think so, no. And that's going to curse things now, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, on the way out, when we were at the till, I noticed this behind for £2. And I bought it. Really, I bought it for the frame. I thought the image is okay, but it was interesting. Esther Hunt down here,
yeah.
And it's got a date of some sort. And then I looked it up. When we got back, I looked it up on the net, and she's someone, and she also made plaster figures of Japanese girls' heads. This picture sold comps on the net, £50 plus. That's crazy. Whoops, I told you we hadn't broken anything on camera yet, so I'm doing my best. So, I love the oak frame, and it's original to the frame, but anyway, I was shocked what that was worth, but it's irrelevant. £2, I'll sell you that for a £5, if someone badgered me. Now, underneath there, we're back into the few local things we bought. We bought the Carmarthen pepper, the Tenby little dish, but this is very, very local to us in Pembroke. This is Carew Castle, and
Hold it up a bit more.
Yeah, how goes
Just
that?
up there like that.
Yeah, so it doesn't get the glare. Was the other one okay for
Yeah.
that? Yeah. and he's a print. He's 15 out of 50. He's signed Philip J. I'll show you on the back. I think he's 70s. When you look at the address label on the back, I remember when my folks had them printed. But Carew Castle, lithograph, signed. He was £2 as well. Yeah, you see this on the back here. That's very 70s to me.
Yeah.
It might be a bit early. Saundersfoot 3741. Yeah, it could be earlier, couldn't it be? That could be 60s. And anyway, that was yeah. I'll show you the front image again. Is that okay, Sue?
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, we're really nice. And I have a friend who has a little place by Carew, so I thought maybe I'd give this to them. But maybe it's not exotic to them if they can look out their window and see the castle. Do they need a picture of it on the frame? Anyway, that's going to go back in its box. And that was everything we got from Sue Ryder. Just fab. And as I say, there's 2 or 3 things there that, ridiculous value if you were really truly in business. But I'll just add this as an add-on. Before we set out on tour, I went down the Swansea Valley to all the charity shops, Istraganlas, Pontardawe, and do you know, it was a dearth. There was an absolute desert. And the only thing I managed to buy was this dish, which sort of makes up for it, really. That's absolutely light. It's got a little bit of stain on it. If I bothered, I might try bleaching that out. It'd probably come, but I won't. Me and Sue almost prefer the other side. We do love the birds and the image. And I like that sort of, almost steely blue thing on it. But on the other side, it's got a wealth of. Now, this is a design lozenge, but it's the crossover between lozenge and numbers, because normally this was round here, segmented, and you could tell even to the day of the month of the year when the design was registered. But this is bang on 1883. It was the first year when they started using numbers. It's got a little impress thing there we can't really read. It's got a little funny cross mark. It's got perhaps a little daub from the decorator. But I also really love this. It's that Browning or Brownfield and Sons
woodland pattern.
Right, yeah, woodland pattern. And I love the 2 worlds being held up by the 2 hands. But it's supposed to be all about the other side. This is 1883, is our 17, that's 137 years old, 139 years old. And just crazy. And the lady in Istraganlas Recycling just said, oh, have that. And so thank you ever so much. But anyway, I'm going to say, ta-da from me and ta-da from
me.
And thank you to Sue Ryder for the fabulous haul that we get. Lovely people. It's the top of Pembroke Dock and next to Tesco's, and it's big. They do some good furniture as well if you wanted good second-hand furniture. And anyway, as I say, it's ta-da, and we'll see you for the next one. Love to all of you.